I want to bring in a juror on the Hunter Biden trial. He served as juror number 10. We are not identifying the juror for his own safety. Juror number 10, this is Manu Raji. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining us today. Take us inside the room. From what we understand from our reporting from our colleagues is that the jury was not 100% on board behind the idea of conviction yesterday, and then ultimately came to the unanimous decision that Hunter Biden was guilty on all three counts. What happened behind the room, and what ultimately convinced the jury to convict?
Okay, so yesterday when the case was handed over to us, we went to the deliberating room. We weren't there that long because it was getting late in the evening. So we just decided, okay, the first thing we're going to do is let's vote now and see how the count was. So we voted, and it was 6-6. Now, I don't believe that any of them were trying to change their minds, or we weren't trying to change anybody's mind. It's just the fact that I think they said no because they wanted more information. They wanted to talk more about the case. So they don't want to jump to conclusions right away and say, yes, he was guilty. So I believe that's why.
So, and then this morning, you guys came back in, and it was no longer 6-6. Is that right?
That's correct, yes.
And talk to me about how that played out.
Okay, so we took each count, and we went over the evidence for each count. And once our foreman had the black whiteboard, and we decided, okay, let's go through each count. So, and then we went around the table, and on the first count, we all said we agreed for number 1, we agreed for number 2, and we agreed for number 3, but number 4 was a holdout. Okay, so then we talked about it a little bit longer about the question on the first indictment. So then we talked a little bit about it, and then we said, okay, let's go back to that. Now let's go to the second motion, yeah, or the second conviction. What he was going to be convicted for. So we went to the second one, and that came back anonymous. Everybody agreed.
Was there any indication why that juror changed to convict? What was the reason?
No. We never got. We're getting ahead. We skipped that one. There was 3 charges against him. So now we're working on the second charge. So we skipped the first charge because somebody was not totally convinced on the fourth question. So we moved on to the second indictment. Once we went over the second indictment, it was unanimous and we all agreed. And then we moved on to the third. And once we started going over the third, there was also 4 questions on that. So we had to be unanimous on all 4 questions. And that was unanimous. The result. Everybody voted to agree to guilty. So.
I wonder, this was obviously a case that involved addiction. There were a lot of stories, sad stories, frankly, about the issue of addiction and Hunter Biden's drug use. How much did that impact the jury as you guys were processing the evidence and we learned about his addiction, use of crack cocaine? How did that play in the jury room?
I'll tell you, it was. I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself. Like it was very sad that he was being not that he was being convicted of these crimes, but that his life had turned out the way it did. So was there a lot of discussion about that, or was it really just looking at
what the prosecution and the defense laid down?
There wasn't a lot of discussion about his lifestyle. It was just the evidence that we were listening to. We didn't discuss a lot about Hunter's lifestyle. And like I said, it was very sad. And when Haley testified, I mean that was, for me, that was a very sad time, because I did not know that Haley also got addicted to crack. So
And it sounds,
I really felt sorry for that.
yeah, it sounds like from what you're saying is that you were in the belief that he was guilty all along. You were not in the camp initially who did not think he was, you thought he should be acquitted. You thought he was guilty, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what convinced you as you were assessing the evidence that he was guilty?
The majority of the questions was he when he filled out that form at the gun shop, okay, and he listed no, he was not an addict. When it said, "Are you a unlawful addiction to drugs, or are you addicted to drugs?" When I first read the first one, and hearing all the evidence, I believed that he was, and he did knowingly buy the gun, knowing that he was a drug addict.
I do understand.
And knowing that he was addicted.
I do want to ask you just one quick question. There's a lot of talk about the jurors everybody knowing a Biden in Delaware. There's a lot of discussion about that going in. Did anybody have a personal connection to Joe Biden and the Biden family? Did that play into the discussion at all?
Not at all. The family was not at all.
Okay.
We didn't discuss. We didn't use Jill. We didn't use the President Biden. Like I was telling someone earlier, like President Biden never really even came into play for me, because his name was only brought up once during the trial, and that's when it kind of sunk in a little bit. Oh wow, this is the sitting president's son who's on trial, and so that was kind of hard. And to know, okay, what the trial's about now. But you kind of put that out of your mind, and after it was brought up again, I did put it out of my mind. I never really put the two together.